Hello everyone, welcome to this series on the history of English literature. And in this video, we are going to discuss the development of poetic style in the age of Pope. Introduction. The development of literary style during the 17th and 18th centuries reflect a significant evolution in English poetry, marked by dominance of specific metrical forms and stylistic approaches. This period was characterized by the rise of the heroic couplet, the persistence of blank verse, and the continued use of the lyric and octosyllabic couplets. Each of these forms contributed uniquely to the shaping of English poetic tradition. The domination of heroic couplet. The heroic couplet emerged as the dominant poetic form during this period. Known for its close, clear, and pointed style, the heroic couplet was most notably employed by poets like Alexander Pope. This meter, consisting of pairs of rhymed lines in iambic pentameter, allowed for a concise and elegant expression of ideas, often infused with wit and intellectual precision. Pope's works such as The Rape of the Lock and Essay on Man exemplify the strength and flexibility of the heroic couplet in conveying satirical and philosophical content. The use of blank verse. Despite the dominance of the heroic couplet, blank verse continued to find a place in the literary landscape. Blank verse, unrhymed iambic pentameter, offered poets a freer form that resisted the constraints of rhymed couplets. Edward Young's Night Thoughts and John Phillips's The Splendid Shilling are notable examples from this period. Although blank verse was less prevalent, its continued use marked a significant resistance to the rigid structures of the couplet and hinted at a future revival of freer poetic forms. For instance, Young's Night Thoughts presents a style that, while metrically accurate and dignified, lacks the inspiration and passion seen in earlier blank verse. The philosophical reflections in his work, although somewhat dull, convey a certain force and solemnity. Amidst my list of blessing infinite stands this the foremost, that my heart has bled. 'Tis heaven's last effort of goodwill to man. When pain can't bless, heaven quits us in despair. Who fails to grieve when just occasion calls, or grieves too much, deserves not to be blessed. Inhuman or effeminate his heart, reason absolves the grief which reason ends. The lyric, a pale reflection of Caroline poetry. The lyric form, though surviving into this period, became a pale reflection of its earlier glory during the Caroline era. The love theme, almost universally treated in lyric poetry, was rendered with facile versification and a noticeable lack of genuine passion. Ambrose Phillips's A Fragment of Sappho exemplifies this trend, where the expression of love, though smooth in its verse, fails to evoke the depth and intensity of earlier lyric poetry. Blessed as the immortal gods is he, the youth who fondly sits by thee, and hears and sees thee all the while, softly speak and sweetly smile. 'Twas this deprived my soul of rest, and raised such tumults in my breast, for while I gazed in transport tossed, my breath was gone, my voice was lost. The octosyllabic couplet, satire and sharp wit. Another significant metrical form of the period was the octosyllabic couplet, composed of 8 syllables per line. This form was particularly effective in satirical and occasional compositions. The octosyllabic couplets, neat, sharp, and dexterous style can be observed in the works of Jonathan Swift and Matthew Prior. These poets used the form to craft biting satirical verses that were both concise and impactful. Conclusion: the development of literary style during this period reflects a rich diversity of forms and approaches, each contributing to the broader tapestry of English poetry. The dominance of the heroic couplet, the persistence of blank verse, the survival of the lyric, and the sharp wit of the octosyllabic couplet all played crucial roles in shaping the poetic landscape. These forms, while varied in their application, collectively illustrate the evolving nature of English poetry as it navigated the complex socio-political and cultural currents of the 17th and 18th centuries. So this was the discussion on the development of poetic forms in the age of Pope. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other topic. Until then, goodbye and thank you.